Before you say anything, yes, I know I read this book in August. I know I read this. But I read this right after. And after reading this, didn't really want to talk about this book or this book. So I'm just now feeling like getting into this book review. And while I'm being honest, while I was writing those notes, I was getting in my feelings yet again. But this book is not that book. So this book review may be filled with more hope and optimism and love and peace. But probably not, because Sarah J. Maas loves to destroy us. But anywho, if you've made it through that long spiel, hello, welcome. My name is Taylor. I'm going to be doing a book review on Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This book, can't tell you anything about it, spoilers. Now there is a trigger warning, there is a mention of a stillborn baby, so that's triggering for you. May not need to read this, or you may need to ask a friend what page that happens on, so you can just jump over it. But that's what happens. Before I get into this bad boy, this thick baby, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on when I post. And now, without further ado, because you've been waiting on this for what? A month? Let's get into it! Now, in reality, this says it's gonna be a 2-minute recap. It's not gonna be. It's probably gonna be, what, 40 seconds most? So let's just get into it. So, Aelin is back in Rifthold. Kale is apparently talking to Arabin, don't know why. Luke Parrington is bossing the Iron Teeth witches around. Like, what power do you have, sir? None. Now, Lysandra, the girl we met in Assassin's Blade, she's cool now. We vibe with her. Next, we have to kill Arabin because he's just a trash person, and I'm gonna talk more about that. But yes, ding dong, he's dead. Next, we learn the real story about the Valg invasion in the catacombs, and that real story is that Erewhon, the Valg king, was never sent back. Yeah. And then we find out that Duke Parrington is grooming Calton, the girl from the first Throne of Glass book, with Shadowfire because the weird key is in her. And then we have the Aelin v. Manon fight. Oh, it was iconic. And we end up taking down the magic barrier. So magic is now free once again. And it turns out that the king isn't the evil one. It's Duke Parrington. Because Duke Parrington isn't Duke Parrington. He's Erewhon, the Valg king. First favorite moment is when we find out that Alid is still alive. And it took me a while to put this together, but I remembered. Her mother is the one that saved Aelin when she was escaping from the murderers. And Alid also has a witch blood in her. So, gang. Next favorite moment, the rescue of Aedion. I mean, come on, man. They called in everybody. They had the dancers come out with their dresses, and they had the black smoke, but the black smoke wasn't smoke. It was fog and gas. And then they had skirts, but Aelin turned her skirt into a cape. I was like, wow. Outfits, I need it. And then, not only that, but she had red hair. And she used red hair to try to implicate Arabin and his friends, which we come to later. I was like, dang, the foresight. So when we get Aedion back, I'm like, wow, iconic. Now, when they got him back, I was like, hello, leave the city, leave. And also because the reunion was so amazing, you know, because they were such strong friends before they were separated and they're rekindling that friendship, I was like, I feel like one of them is gonna die. Next favorite moment. Once again, while my girl still has her red hair, she fights with Ansel's name. Iconic. It's even more iconic later, but I can't talk about that. Now, my next favorite moment. R-O-W-A-N. W-H-I-T-T-H-O-R-N. Rowan Whitethorn. That's my bae. He's my bae. Rowan Whitethorn. He's my bae. He's my bae. Rowan Whitethorn. He's my bae. He's my bae. And also, okay. I get it, okay? We changed love interest halfway through the book, okay? But Kale and Selena, that was cute. But Rowan and Aelin? Just give up. The game. The standards have been set. Rowan and Aelin together, forever. Anything else is not okay. So anyway, favorite moment when my bae, Rowan, arrives in Rifthold. He's like, I needed to be with you. But like, it was really, he used the geese that he was there because Lorcan ended up being there. Well, we know the truth. We know the truth. We know it. So, yeah. Next for moment is when we learn that Lysandra is a shapeshifter, and that makes me like her even more. And also, okay, her mom was trash for throwing her out of the house. Her mom literally threw her out of the house when she shapeshifted, and then when magic fell, she was stuck in that body. Her mother allowed her to be apprehended and to be sold for the highest bidder of man for sexual exploitation. Her mother is trash. Trash. And then, because of her abilities as a shapeshifter, Lysandra, when magic falls again, saves the day so much. She is iconic. Iconic, I say. My next favorite moment, Aelin. Aelin. This is how you show she's an assassin. She has such foresight. I'm here on page 102. She's here on page 599. She has the foresight, the sense, everything just weaves in majestically. Like when she manipulates Arobyn's will so that she gets all the money, and when she sets up Arobyn and his connections and just strains Arobyn of everything, and then all the things that happen later, I was like, oh, the mind on this woman, the mind, she's just, ooh, everything's getting woven in so well. I just love it. And now, the next favorite moment is when we had the first interactions between Aelin's gang and the Blackfeet gang. So mind you, this whole battle that ensued was Chaol's fault. We're gonna talk about him and why I've unfortunately had to disown him. Yeah. But anyway, the fight was juicy. Oh my gosh. But also Aelin's such an instigator. Like she was literally like, and that's why I killed Baba Yellowlegs. You know good and happy well what you killing a witch means to them. Like, lol, she really wanted to fight. She really wanted the smoke. And so when Manon charged, I was like, ooh, run. And then last but not least, when Aelin saves Manon from death, I was like, yes, iconic. Save people who deserve to be saved. Next, we're pretty much gonna jump to the end, my friend. So when Aelin slips the ring on Dorian's finger and expels the Vald Prince, I was like, yes, Dorian is back. Yes. And then they ended up, you know, getting rid of the king. Boom, boom. Destroying the glass castle. Selena ends up having to save Dorian from going crazy, you know, makes a little barrier, cool barrier out of, you know, melted glass, you know, a little glass ornate piece that we get to cherish for the rest of the book. Now, the final battle in this bad boy. Every 5 pages I was screaming yes. When Lorcan came back to help them, when Lysandra shapeshifted, when something else happened, I was just screaming for joy. So we're just gonna skip past all of that. And we're gonna talk about Calton. Now when Calton gives Elide the weird key, and Calton blows up the place with the shadow fire, and she relieves her suffering and the suffering of the witches that had been experimented on, I was like, yes, Calton, yes. Oh man. I hated her so much in the first book, man. But she really saved the day. Because if we got those mirrors and she had that shadow fire, would not have been good, my friend. Would not have been. And then, I also like the Manon saved Elide from being experimented on herself. I was like, yes, Manon, thank you. And then, last but not least, the only favorite moment I'm going to mention about Chaol is that now he has to go to Antica because, you know, of the battle. And I only like that because we'll probably see Yrene. So, besides that, I couldn't care less for Chaol. Chaol dies in my mind. I hate Arobyn. Yikes moments. Number 1 yikes moment. I hate Arobyn. Oh my gosh, I hate him so much. Number 1, he acts like he cares for Aelin, but yet you literally played a huge part in getting her sent to Endover. You literally set her up to be captured because she is my property and she chose Sam over me. But I never showed any interest in her romantically. And even if I did, that'd be gross because that's grooming, which I'm going to talk about later. Then when they have dinner and he tries to put the word ring on Aelin, to try to control her and make her, you know, his little puppet. I was like, wow, how much more trash can he be? I'm so happy that Lysandra slit his throat that night. So happy. Couldn't be happier. So, we've come to the part in the book where, gotta let you know something. I hate Kale. Kale got on my damn nerves so much in this novel, and I just hate him. He's a terrible, petty prick who knows nothing. And yeah, like what I said, screw Kale Lena, stand now, Roland. Okay, so when Aelin first shows up, Kale wanted to have an action with her. He's like, where are all the forces? I sent you there to get the forces. We need help. First of all, what in the cotton picket is a magic army going to do in an area where there's no magic? Tell me, what is the purpose of a force if they can't use the force because there's no magic? And first of all, you didn't even know who she was until you sent her there. So don't act like you all high and mighty. And actually, you were just working for the enemy last book. Last book, you didn't want to have anything to do with this. Last book, you were still on the king's side. You were still captain of the guard. Last book, you were still on the wrong side. You were just now figuring out wrong from wrong. Last book, mind you. Please. He is just so self-righteous. Like, especially when he's talking about Dorian. And when he was talking to Aelin, he's like, I can trust Dorian with his magic. I don't know if I trust you with your magic. And she's like, why? He's like, Dorian didn't kill the people in Andover. I'm sorry, Kale. Are you talking about the overseers and sexual assaulters at the enslavement camp? Those people? The people that oversaw and assaulted the people that were enslaved in Andover? That's who you're trying to defend? That's who you're mad that Aelin killed? Oh, gosh. I mean, I've never seen such a fall from grace. A fall from being my fave to me wanting to just stomp him in the dirt. And especially when Aelin would say something and then Kale would be like, that's stupid, shut up. And then Nezrin would say the same exact thing that Aelin said, and he's like, that makes so much sense now. Oh, gosh. And you know what? At the end of the day, Aelin still gave his stupid behind the eye Belena and kept him alive at the end. Anyway, now that we're done with my little mini rant on Kale, I want to talk about how Adian was just trying to succumb to his poison and die, and I was crying like, no, please hold on because your cousin Aelin's coming to save your life. But anywho, she saved him, so we don't have to get into that. Now, next yikes moment, when Astrid was really, well, we didn't learn her backstory until later, but before then, Astrid kept questioning Manon. And it's like, girl, you are Manon's second. Like, yikes. Like, that could get, somebody might get beat. And in the end, Astrid ended up being third in ranking, and then Cyril came fourth, and then I think Astrid was fourth, and then somebody else became third. Like, they were having a rough patch. Next yikes moment. Dorian's controlled body. Every time we saw it, it was just so sad. The Valkyr Prince was just so ruthless to him. But I did love how Manon was able to call out to him because her eyes with gold flecks that call to the Val Kings, because once again, she is a witch, which means they're like forefathers were Valg Kings and whatnot, I believe. But yes, and also how her eyes protected her from the attack of the Valkyr Prince that was in Roland's body. I was like, yes, iconic. But now, Manon's grandma. Trash. This is, in fact, part 1 of the installment of Manon's grandma being trash. You'll get part 2 when Empire Storms drops. But, so, Manon's grandma, she agrees and wants to hand over witches to be incubators for breeding evil devil spawn Valg princeling babies. And that was just like, you're really gonna let your own people be used in such manner? Like, you're not gonna stand up for them? No? It's not what you're gonna do? Okay. And then the whole incident with Astrid and her child, and how she burned Astrid and wouldn't let Astrid hold the baby, and then how she left Astrid for dead. I was like, trash. Absolute trash. I've never seen more trash in my life. Another yikes moment was when we realized that the ring that prevents Valg invasion on the body was the ring Aelin gave to me. Now it doesn't matter because Lorcan brought that ring back and you're able to, you know, finagle it back. So, I mean, it wasn't really that yikes. It was just like more like a dang, really? Okay. The real yikes moment is we find out what the weapon is. The weapon that the witches have been working on are witch mirrors to amplify Calton's Shadowfire to wipe out opposing forces instantly. And at that point, I'm like, dang, the battle's already lost then. Next thing you know, Alide gets got by her uncle Vernon, and no, I'm not talking Vernon Dudley. Like, literally, he's so trash. Like, that's your niece, and you're literally about to let her be experimented on and incubated for evil Valg Prince-sling babies. The bar's in hell. Okay, next yikes moment. Okay, I had a feeling that Rin and Brulo were dead when they kept missing the meetings. Unfortunately, I was right. They died. Oh no! And that was just after I said how much I was starting to enjoy Rin's presence. Next yikes moment made me kind of frustrated. So when Menon goes back to Rifthold and all she does is tell Aelin and Kale that Dorian is still in there, I was like, what? That's it? No assistance? Nothing? Okay. Sure, you did something. You really did something. I mean, we all need Dorian, don't we? Here's my next sex moment. You're probably going to be like, oh my gosh, Kayla, but you said the same exact opposite thing in favorite moments. But here's the thing. Even though I love her, I love Aelin, sometimes her plans miss the mark. Like when her plan was, I'm going to pretend to have apprehended Kale and I'm going to pretend to be Selena again and the king won't be any the wiser. I was like, that plan was trash. And then also, when my baby Rowan almost died because Lorcan lied. Ooh, bars, okay. Rowan almost died because Lorcan lied. Oh, I'm gonna stop before I get my black card revoked. But anywho, my baby Rowan almost died because Lorcan lied about killing the other 7 of those, you know, gargoyle-ish Valg demon thingies. And the only reason Lorcan came back to save them is because Aiden, we find out, is Gabriel's son. Like, he literally, like, left and didn't come back. So, really, did he do anything? And then my last text moment is when we get the reveal that the king isn't the head honcho of evilness. It's Duke Parrington because, and it's not even Duke Parrington, it's Erewhon because the Val King is controlling Parrington's body. I was like, oh my gosh, this battle isn't even over. And that's a good thing because I was literally reading this, like, we seem to be getting to like a huge climax. Like, what really can happen in this bad boy? What are the rest of these books for? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, where can we go from here? So it was good to know that, yeah. Okay, so let's just shake the table just a little bit. I got 2 things. First thing, man's inhumanity to man. So people in Rifthold, citizens of Rifthold, are literally applauding people getting beheaded. And the people are getting beheaded because they have sparse amounts of magic in them. Magic that they haven't even been able to use in the past decade because of the towers that prevented the magic barriers from being like. And you know what I wanted to say? Actually, you know, I said I wasn't going to mention him anymore. But you know who? I was like, you know what? You know who? How about you get them people instead of being on Aelin's behind every 5 seconds because you apparently think you know everything now. You know everything. Just because you switch sides at the last moment. Now everyone should come to you, okay? Now you must mansplain how the world works and how we have to save the day. Even though you have no powers, your skills aren't even that adept. What really can you do, my friend? Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about him because it's giving me so much pain. But I'm gonna have to get over it. Because apparently this bad boy is just him. I'm not gonna make it through. But anywho, man's a humanity man. They were literally applauding people being beheaded. Trash. And my last shake table moment was Arabin's obsession with Aelin. We talk about this a lot in Assassin's Blade, which is right there. There it is, boom. And what he really was like when he sent her to Andover and he was talking to the guy and he's like, I don't like sharing my things. First of all, she's not your property. Second of all, you're mad at her because she picked Sam. First of all, you haven't even never showed any interest in her in like a romantic way or anything. Like, It just seems like failed grooming to me. That concludes my book review on Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, it was a bad boy. It was clunky. It was amazing. If you like this book review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on when I post. And now, all that's left to say is bye-bye.